So I was looking around on the internet and I saw that there's all these old how to Minecraft series, but none of them are a comprehensive series on how to play Minecraft 1.16. So I'm here today to just tell you how you can get better at Minecraft 1.16. This series is going to include a number of episodes. This one is just going to be how to set up your Minecraft so that you'll be set when playing the game. The first thing you want to do when getting Minecraft is, of course, log into the Minecraft website. So you'll do that here, and it'll take you to a login page. When you're in the login page, you're on your profile, and then you can have a look at your skins, your realms, your building info, and also the games that you've got. So you'll want to go to Minecraft, and you'll want to get Minecraft on your computer or whatever device you have, but because I'm playing Java Edition, I click computer, then you click the type of PC that you want, and it'll download a file, a .exe. I would recommend the Java Edition. Windows 10 Edition, yes, it does play Minecraft, but Java Edition is the computer version. So you'll click on Java Edition, you'll download it or you'll buy it. Already own it, you can download it again. And you'll download it and then you'll click the Run button. Once your Minecraft has downloaded, you'll be sent to a launcher like this if you load it up. If you haven't loaded it up, you double click the launcher and it'll bring you to something like this. This is your Minecraft launcher. It's where you can access Java Edition, the news, Minecraft dungeons. But for Java Edition, you have a couple of options. So play is the default play screen, where you can select which release you've got. Now to see which release you've got or which installation you've got, those different types are called, you go to here, installations. So by default, you'll have latest release and latest snapshot. Then you can add your own. So I have added a 1.16.1 speedrun world because 1.16 is good for speedrun, and I've got a 1.9 parkour world. When creating a new world, you go plus, you name it, you can give it a symbol, and then you can choose which directory. By default, it'll go to your default directory. So for a newcomer, I would recommend just play with the default directory. Next, you've got skins. Here is where you can add your skins to the game. So here's my skin. I'll add it to my library, and I will name my skin as Doctre Sween. Save and use. There we are. So that's my skin. You can add I'm pretty sure you can add as many as you like, and that's that. There's also patch notes, which tells you all the updates for the latest versions of Minecraft. So if you want to look at what was updated for 1.15, that'll be there. If you want to see 1.15.1, that's there. So 1.15.1 and 1.15.2 have different patch updates, and so on and so forth. When you're going into your menu, you will press play. So I'm going to load up a 1.16.2 world. So that'll load. And the first time it'll take a little while to load. After that, it'll get faster and faster as it will have downloaded all of the relevant data. So here we go. You've downloaded Minecraft. You're booting up the game. What's next? Well, I would totally recommend going to your settings. So to do this, you go to options, and then you'll bring up a video settings page. Also, just for an ease of access thing, I would recommend a mouse when using Minecraft, because it does make it a lot easier than using a touchpad or a trackpad or something of the sort. Now, I have my field of view set to 90. By default, it's at 70. As you can see, FOV, normal. Now, I can show you what that does in game, but the higher the field of view, the more you can see on your screen. It might look a little bit weird or a little bit up close the higher or lower you set it to. Then we go to skin customization. Now, this, if you've got a double layer skin like I do, is where you can select what parts of the skin you want showing. So if I want to go into my muscle shirt mode, I'll turn off my sleeves, my jacket, and my cape. I'll leave my hat on, but you can turn off as much of it as you like. And the main hand is right or left-handed if you want that to match what you are in real life. Next, we've got music and sounds. Now this is where you can control all your sounds. I've got it so that it's a nice little mix. As you can hear, the Minecraft music is on in the background. When I'm doing other stuff in the background, I'll turn the master volume on or off, so this will alter the different sound. Now, sometimes you might see a grey box down in this corner. That is because of subtitles. Now, subtitles can be used in two reasons: if you can't hear the sounds, or if you just want to read the sounds and you don't want to get distracted, or if you can't listen to them. So that's just good for that. Next thing, we've got video settings. Now, video settings is very important for gameplay. Now, this is a very optimized set of video settings, and based on what computer you have, you'll be able to do higher or lower settings. I'd recommend which ones to turn on or off. Now, so full screen resolution, that's just, I don't mess around with that one. Now, biome blend is to do with the chunk boundaries, or the boundaries of the biomes. The higher this is, the more integrated the biomes are, but it does take a lot more processing. Now, graphics you'll want on fast if your computer's slow, or fancy if you want to have it look nice, fabulous if your computer can handle it. I keep it on fast just because it makes the game load faster. Now, render distance, you can have anywhere up to 32 or down to 2. I like to have it somewhere in the middle at 18 chunks. That gives me good render distance. So render distance shows how many chunks are loaded at one time on your screen. Now, the higher the render distance, the more time it'll take to load in those chunks, and the harder it will be for your computer to process that. So the lower the chunks, the faster your frame rate will be, but the higher the chunks, the more you'll be able to see. So it's a trade-off, so you'll choose what you want to do. Now, max frame rate, I'd recommend just unlimited. Most monitors or screens won't be as high as the unlimited, but it's there if you want to. Smooth lighting, again, that's just something that you can turn on or off if you like the site, or if your computer's struggling. VSync, I have no idea what it does, but I find that it's a lot faster when I've got it off. Again, if your computer can handle it, that's up to you. View bobbing is another thing. So these ones here are just video settings. So view bobbing is bobbing of entities and mobs. Attack crosshair, you can select which one or where it's located. Clouds, if you like clouds, you can keep them on. If you want to turn them off for speed, you can turn them off. Now, particles is something that I do change fairly regularly depending on what I'm doing in Minecraft, but as a general rule, I keep them on decreased or minimal. When I need to see what particles are in use, I'll turn them on, but that's for your discretion. GUI scale, I keep it 2. I find that's a nice scale. If you want, you can set it to 3 or automatic. Auto, I find, is a bit too big. 1's a little bit small, and 2's what's right for me. So you can suit that to what you like. Brightness, I would recommend it at bright, unless you don't like how bright it is. In that case, you change it to how you want it. These other ones, I would just leave as they are, unless your computer can handle it. Yeah, so that's the video settings. So that's just to make your game a lot faster. Now, controls is something that a lot of people don't know about or don't optimize. So for me, these are my settings. I've got a couple of things changed that I'll explain, but very briefly. Auto jump means that you will automatically jump in the game. I do not like this. It can really mess me up, especially when doing parkour. That'll be in a later episode or in the series. But auto jump, you'll have to turn it off. Now, if you're skipping from, say, 1.9 to 1.16, 1.9 does not have auto jump, so you'll have to turn it off again when you go back into 1.16. Now, mouse settings, this is just my settings. I think sensitivity is default. Default is at 1, and I mean 100%, and that is my settings. You can change them to your liking. Now, general movement keys are WASD. Sprint is, I don't think it's normally set. but I have it as E so that it's easy to reach with my index finger. But that means that you have to change something else. Shift and space are just things that you'll have to get used to as you play. It will become second nature to you. Now, attack, destroy is left. These ones I just keep default, so pick, block, middle button, use or place item, right? Inventory, hotbar slots, I've got two buttons on my mouse, so for like a water bucket or something when I'm doing a speed run I'll use these, but the default is 8 and 9. Again, it's up to you. Now open or close inventory is automatically set to E, but because I use E to sprint, I set this to R. So it's still within reaching distance for my index finger, but again it's just easier for movement if I have it as R. I think they're the main things. You can set your advancements key to whatever you like. You can obviously change these settings to what you like, but I would recommend what I have at the moment. Language, you choose what language you use. I use English US. There's a couple of interesting ones out there. I think there's Pirate in here somewhere. Let's have a look. Yeah, Pirate Speak. And then there's a couple of others in here just for fun. So like Shakespearean. But if you're not English or you don't speak English as your main language, you can change it to whatever language you prefer. Chat settings is just for servers, and when you're playing with other people, you can change that to however you like. I have my text opacity up because I play on a server where not necessarily family-friendly content is posted in chat all the time, so it's just a good thing to turn some of those settings down so that it's not in your way. Resource packs, that's up to you. You can drag and drop them in, so there's this open pack folder button here, which will open up the resource pack folder where you drop your resource packs in. You can find resource packs online if you want. It will reload the game when you go back in. Now, accessibility, if you have some sort of a disability or you just want to, you can change a couple of these. The main ones that I look at is show subtitles, auto jump, sprint, and sneak. Now sneak, hold, and sprint, hold. You've got two options, hold and toggle. Hold means that every time that you're pressing the button, it will do that action, but toggle means that it will, like it sounds, toggle what you're doing. I prefer not to use toggle because it does get a little bit annoying and you can forget what you've got in use. But they're the main settings, and we'll move on to creating a world. So as you can see here, I've got quite a few worlds. These ones are my speedrun attempts. I think this is a manhunt world, that's a void world, creative world. That might be a redstone world, I'm not sure. But here's my world. So you create a new world by going create new world, and by default you'll have survival and normal difficulty. For a beginner player, I would recommend going onto peaceful or easy mode. Now peaceful, there's no hostile mobs. Hostile mobs hurt you. So easy mode, you get hostile mobs. Normal mode, you get a bit harder mobs, and hard mode, you get harder mobs. The mobs do not change, but it is the damage that they deal to you that changes. That's just something to take in mind. You've also got the game mode selector, so survival is the one where you start with nothing and you've got to survive and try to build your world. Hardcore is survival, just a lot harder, and you can't change from hard difficulty. Creative, you can be as creative as you like, building whatever you want. And they're the main ones. There is also another game mode that can be used for map creation, but that's a little bit more experienced. Cheats, that's using commands. If you want help with commands, there's a couple of guides that you can find online that will help you out. And also in-game, if you type / a list will pop up with all the different cheats that you can use. In creative mode, cheats is on by default. Here we have data packs. Now data packs are some things that you can use to change your Minecraft game. As a beginner, I would recommend just staying away from this until you feel a bit more confident. Game rules. Now some of these don't change the game too much, some of them do. So a couple of things that I would recommend for beginners. Require recipe off. Make sure that's off. Let's have a look. Regenerate health on. Keep inventory on. I would turn that on for a beginner because that would be helpful in case you die and you want to get your stuff back. Let's have a look. Mobs. You won't. If you don't want, you don't have to have mobs. Most of these are. The main one that I'd recommend is keep inventory. Because then if you die, you can learn from your mistakes and not lose anything. Then we have this More World Options button. This More World Options button gives you a couple of options. So generate structures will generate the basic structures of Minecraft, like villages, temples, strongholds, dungeons, that type of thing. Bonus chest is mainly something you'll use for survival, and that will give you a couple of resources to start off with. As a beginner, I would recommend that you turn this on. It'll give you a chest, a couple of torches, and a couple of wooden tools and some food. So it should be able to start you off if you don't have anything. World type, you have a couple of different options. So for a beginner, I'd recommend default. If you're a bit more advanced, super flat and large biomes and amplified, single biome, caves, floating islands. There's a bunch of different options there. The main ones that I use are default and super flat. Now, super flat worlds, you have a bunch of presets. So if you want to do redstone, you can do redstone. If you want to have a void world, you can use the void. If you want a water world, you can use that. So there's a bunch of different presets. I'd recommend using those. Or if there's a map that you want to use, you can import settings or something like that. So that's how you create a new world. I'm going to show you how to add a server. So you go into multiplayer. This is just a little disclaimer, and you will click proceed. So at the moment I've got Manicube. I'm going to just show you how to add another server. So you do add server. You can type whatever name that you like. Let's say Hypixel, and then you type in the name or the code. I'm pretty sure that's the right one. And then you can find it on most servers have it on their website, so it'll show you, it'll come up with the server. So if it's a correct server, you can do that. You can also join a local server if it's on your local network. So that's another thing that you can do if you want to play with friends but don't want to pay for a server. Now there's also this button called Minecraft Realms. Now Minecraft Realms are a fun way to play with friends, but they do cost a little bit extra. So at the moment, the survival world that I've got with my friends is on a realm. Of course, you can change it. You can change your subscription whenever you want. There are a bunch of mini games that you can get with your realm, and I'll show you here. So you can choose from a selection of mini games, and you can have 3 different world saves that you want, and you can control which players have access to your realm, but you have to send them an invite. Anyway, I think that will be it for this video. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learnt something. If you have any questions about anything that I've said or anything else that you would like me to talk about, I've got a pretty comprehensive list of things that I'm going to talk about in the next couple of episodes, and the next one is going to be first goals in a survival world. So thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time.